It's loading. Yes, it's going now. Everybody says hello, YouTube, please. Everybody. Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello, YouTube.
Hello.
Yes, that's it. So let's start. As I said, we have the same. Okay. And thinking of it, let's start our conversation. I'd like you to take a look at question number 1. It's about yourself. Do you see yourself more as a positive or negative person, and why? What do you think, Jairo? What do you think about yourself?
I must confess that I consider myself as a negative person. I always try to be positive, but in general, I always realize for some, I don't know exactly the reason, but I try to be positive, and at some point of some situation, I feel that I'm quite negative with the situation in general. So that's one thing that I need to learn how to manage. But yeah, I have some improvements, but every now and then something happens and I flip back to the negative side of my feelings, So I'm trying to manage it, but to be honest, at least for me, I consider myself a negative person, but I'm trying to deal with that, manage this thing.
Yes, I understand you. It's hard. Yes, it's hard to deal with that. Are you a kind of person very worried about things?
Yeah, especially worried about what people will think about me. There is some environments that it's more usual than others. For example, if I am at work, I always think about what will someone think about me if I do it or if I don't do it. And that's I think the triggers to start to thinking negative things, in a negative way. But that's it. It's hard also to put it in words, because it's not really negative, but most of the time I feel that I should just don't think about something, but for some reasons that I don't know exactly, my mind starts to bring some things to my conscient mind, and I start to create negative thoughts. But I have a lot of, my mind is like always thinking about something. My mind has his own power, his own way to do things. So I need to talk with my own mind, and make a deal with it to try to manage positive and negative thoughts in general. But yeah, I am this kind of person that thinks in a lot of things.
Mm-hmm. I see as a very fast mind, constantly thinking, and I think maybe your mind is preparing you for all the bad situations possible. So because you are worried, it works always to make you prepared for all kinds of bad situations, right?
Perfect. Yeah, totally perfect. That's it.
I understand very well.
Yeah.
You are always ready. So yes, I understand very well. And you, Aurelio, I think, as you said, you are always fine. What's excellent. How do you see yourself?
I'm the opposite respect Jair. Right? Jair, I'm sorry for my pronunciation. No, I'm a person extremely positive in every situation. And this is because, in my point of view, if you see your life in a good way, every situation that you can find in your life is good, and you have always, in my case, I always the smile on my mouth, and this is good because the people like to stay surrounding me because I'm always positive. Okay, this is so beautiful. Oh, this is different. If you are a negative person, I think that the people think, no, this person is a bad luck, is not good. I prefer to avoid him. And for this reason, I'm extremely positive in every situation. Example, if in my life I find a bad situation, I search always the beautiful way in every situation. And I think that is possible. Yes, there are people that think you are so exaggerated. It's impossible that you find all beautiful in every situation. But in my point of view, it is possible. And this is good for me because I'm always happy, haven't a problem. And this, I think that this is good.
This is so awesome to hear. And I'd like to be like you as you are, because it's so good. And you said something very related to the saying I brought today. There is always a silver lining. So you said, I always see something good in the middle of something. And this is awesome. This is my goal. Okay, to be like that, to be like you. I think it's also Jairo's goal to be more like that. But I totally understand Jairo when he says his mind is always bringing thoughts to make him prepared for all the bad situations that might happen, so I understand both of you. Both of you, but you are my goal, Aurelio, really are. And you, Juliana, how do you see yourself?
Oh, I think I'm more positive than negative nowadays. I try to manage my feelings to be positive, but all the time it's impossible. So I think the way that you face depends of our emotional state. So if you are in a good mood and something happens, maybe you do different as you are facing some problem, So most of the time I'm positive, but sometimes I know I'm a negative person, especially when I'm have bad times.
Yes, I get you. I also get you. When we are in a bad mood, it's more difficult to deal with the situations.
Yes, and there are some events that you cannot control in your life, because that I think it's so relative. When you are facing the problem with work or another thing that that it's in sometimes all will be resolved. So it's not worth to concern or think a lot about that because it's temporarily. But some things happen and it's impossible to change. For example, when we need to face when we miss someone. So I think it's almost impossible to be positive in this scenario. But when it's something temporary, I think you can try to be positive,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I understand you. I understand you. And you, Amanda, how do you see yourself?
I think it will be a very interesting conversation because we have a different point of view. And I try to be more positive than negative, but I think that I used to be more positive than I am nowadays. And I think it's related with what Jairo said, and maybe the situations that I can see that I have more anxiety. It's harder to be positive. So I mean, when I'm more anxious, I tend to think in a negative way. But so I try to deal with this, like when to be positive, when to be negative. But for sure that I think that being more positive, it's better for mental health. And so I think Aurelio is right.
Yes, he is indeed. As I said, he's my goal. And if you don't mind, I ask why you said nowadays you are more negative than positive. Is there any special reason? Or if you don't feel comfortable to share, no problems, okay?
Yeah, I don't know. I never thought about this, but maybe when we are getting older, I think we have more kinds of problems. and so it's related to the anxiety that I said. So I think we have more things to worry about or to think about, and it gets harder. And so I think that's it.
Okay, very good. Thank you for sharing. Yes, in my case, I constantly try to be more positive. I always think that everything has a solution, a way out. Okay, so I try not to bother all the time, to think of that thing all the time, to be more calm and confident that the best will come from that. But sometimes it's hard because I understand when Jairo says the mind is constantly preparing us for the worst, because my mind, for example, and I believe the mind of many is trained to solve situations, solve problems. So the mind wants you prepared for the worst and to be prepared to solve any kind of situation, because the mind wants you out of that. So it's hard to manage this. So what I do is when I realize I'm overthinking, I try to stop, breathe, and tell to myself, okay, calm, trust, be confident, and you don't need to solve anything right now. Take some time, and let things go, let things happen, and then you think of that again and try to find the best solution. But sometimes I know it's very hard because we are fast thinkers, so sometimes it's hard, it's difficult to hold your mind, but I think most of the time I'm more a positive person than negative. That's something I think every day. I'm more positive than negative. So it's something I feel comfortable. It's good to know. But my mind is also, yes, like Jairo said, it's hard to manage. Okay. Let's move on to number 2. How do you deal with bad events or situations when you have to go through them? Do you use any tools to help? So you are going through a very difficult situation. So your mind is like screaming, How do you deal with that, Amanda?
I do the same thing as you did, and I learned this on therapy, like thinking about the present, focusing on what's happening now, because for me, at least, most of the times we are like thinking of what can happen or what would happen. The famous what if, and I hate what if, but so I try to, when I am worrying about something that I don't know the answer, or as Juliana said, that I can't control, I try to focus on the present and calm. I know I've heard about these breathing exercises, as you were saying, but I don't do them. I just try to stop and focus on what's happening now and try not to overthink.
Yes, that's a good strategy. And you, Juliana, how do you deal with that?
Usually, if it's someone that I can handle, I try to solve. I just calm down, thinking, and avoid to overreact. But it's something that it depends of other people, or it's something that I know I will not resolve in one day or fast. I just, okay, relax, because it's not the end of the world, you know, and I try to give more time to think, and when my mind is clear, it's better to solve, it's better to face bad events or situations. I think every time that I try to resolve in that moment, it wasn't a good experience for me. Sometimes when I wait a little bit, I realize that it's not too difficult or hard as I think in the first moment.
Excellent, very good. You said something that I kind of recently learned, not to make decisions immediately. You don't have to solve everything now. No. Stop. Things will happen. So you stop and you take your time. So, I don't know, start doing another thing, take a break, have a glass of water, go do any other kind of activity, okay? Spend your day and then calmer, rested, you try to deal with the situation. Nothing's going to change for you if you try to solve now or a few hours later, or maybe if you have the chance next day, okay? So you give yourself more time and more time to go to think of that calmly. So it's important, as you said, Juliana. So very good. And you, Aurelio, how do you deal with that?
In my situation is depend of the situation, because fortunately I have a strong personality, and every situation I find, I search always the best solution. Example, in this period of time, I can tell you have a problem with my boss, but in my point of view is not a problem for me, but the problem is only for my boss, because we have a different point of view regarding a topic during the work. In this situation, I prefer to use I'm annoying, because in this way I work the psychology of the people, and this is not good. Example, I avoid to grade him. I prefer to speak with my production manager, and example, I tell him, listen, speak with your boss. I don't tell my boss, your boss, and this and you tell to him that this work is not correct. I use all these strategies, because if you are annoying, respect the other people, you have a problem for the other people. But inside myself, I laughed, because I think I'm I'm like a fox, and this is good, because I haven't a problem. But my boss see me in a bad way, and yes, you can find yes, but this is can a problem, because eventually, if you don't go well for him, you can tell you go out of the company. Yes, there isn't a problem. I search another job, and I search to improve my situation in the best way for me. For me, it's not a problem. But I don't think that my boss decide in the future this solution, because fortunately for me, thanks to my experiences, because unfortunately I'm so close to the I'm so old. Yes, old is a big word, but fortunately I'm so close to my work time. I'm close to the retired time, and for me it's not a problem. Eventually I can find I can search another work for the last years of my work life, or eventually I stay at home and I use the law, the Italian law, to receive the money without go to work, and this is good. Always
I
positive,
remember.
guys.
Yes, I can see you are always positive to all the situations possible. So if you get fired, that you will not, but if it happens, you are also positive. So that's great. That's amazing. And I remember you told us about the Italian law about paying this like small amount, not so small, this amount of money to people who are unemployed.
Yes, in Italian is reddito di cittadinanza, is in English is free salary. I can tell you, free salary.
Free salary.
Without a job, without work.
This is great.
Yes,
yes.
It's a stupid law in the Italian nation. Unfortunately, our politician is not a genius.
Yes, and do they pay that forever? Is that a deadline for 3-6 months or no?
No, theoretically, you can take this money for a lot of years. When you arrive to the period of retired, change the situation, you take I haven't one moment.
Like a pension.
It's one moment.
But if you are not in a period of retirement, they pay.
The Google told me pension salary. Pension salary.
Yes. So it lasts until you retire. That's it.
Yes.
My God, this is amazing.
Yes, in fact, our politicians are crazy people. It's impossible, this situation. Yes, the Italian situation is good regarding the money, but the money is not infinity.
Yes, that's the point. Yes, exactly. Very good. And you, Jairo, how do you deal with this bad events, bad situation?
Well, in general, I think I deal very good. I don't have like problems to deal with bad things, but I feel that sometimes every time that I need to pass through bad situations or things like that, I suffer more than necessary. Sometimes I talk with some friends and they say, all right, but why you are so sad? Because that's something that you should handle in some way better than you are doing right now. And and I just say, yeah, it is what it is. That's how I feel, and that's it. So in general, I know how to solve the problems. I know how to handle them. But in terms of feelings, it's like a punch. Every time that, no matter what kind of situation, but problems in general, is like a terrible thing in terms of emotion. Not really a problem in terms of how to handle, because most of the problems in some ways I handle it well, but the problem is how to deal with the feelings that it triggers in my mind. So sometimes people always say something like, all right, yeah, that's a problem, but you are almost solving it, so why you are still in that mood? And that's the thing. I think that the way that someone said, what if? There's so many what if in my mind that it triggers me like, all right, but something else can happen. I don't know. I'm not sure if what I'm doing is the right way to do it or solve it. What if something happened beside of these, and it's like a snowball. Yeah, but in general, I deal very good with problems. The only point here is related to my emotions. Like I am like I don't know. There it comes like, as I said, it's a punch. Once you felt like, all right, I'm knockout, because I had this problem, but most of the time I resolve the problems very fast. Yeah. The point is related my emotions, but that's one thing that I'm learning with life, how to handle. And yeah, if I look back, I think I'm doing a good job to handle it, at least until now. So for me, that's okay. And thinking about some tools, especially nowadays, during the COVID-19, especially in 2021, I learned how to roller skating. And it was one of my tools, to take a breathe, look to people, like real people, not in front of my computer, but see them in face. Yeah, this is one of my tools. I like to go to the gym. I'm trying to do take theater lessons, these kind of things to help me to express my idea, express myself, and see the world without thinking about many different things. That's very hard for me, since when I roller skate, for example, I realize, all right, I'm still thinking. So why are you thinking so many things? But yeah, as I need to, in some ways, I need to concentrate myself on my movements, because otherwise I will fall. But yeah, but it helps. It's hard to learn, and for me at least, hard to learn, and rolling skating in general. But it's good. It's hard, but it's good, because because it's difficult, it's hard to do it. For me, it forced me to be focused.
Concentrated.
Yeah, concentrated, focused just in my movements, in my body, without thinking so many things else. Yeah, that's one of my tools.
Yes, I see your strategy is to do something else, but something that forces you to focus, to concentrate on what you are doing at that moment. Because this way you move your mind out of the problems, the issues, everything you are going through. That's an excellent strategy, but we need to find out things that make our minds to focus on the activity, to stop thinking.
Exactly.
Yes, I understand you very well. And also understand when you say that you know very well how to deal with the problems, how to solve the situations, but when at the moment you are going through them, the feelings, the emotions are like boiling. I totally understand. Maybe it's because of a little of anxiety. Possibly we get anxious, so we cannot stop thinking about that. And also maybe, I don't know, I'm guessing, but a little tip here is to trust more in yourself. Be more confident about yourself, because if you know you are good at solving the problems, so be more confident to try to make you feel calmer. I know I can, I know I will, so I can relax, something like this. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it helps you. I don't know if you've tried this before, something like that. It's just a tip. Okay, guys. Very good, very good. So now let's get in the saying. Okay, let's get into the saying. It's number 3 question. What's your opinion about this saying? Every cloud has a silver lining. Every bad situation has a good aspect or a lesson for us to learn, okay? Something to teach us. What do you think, Juliana, about it?
I need to be realist. Let's be honest. I think most of the time, this is true. When it's a material situation, sometimes relate to financial situation, okay. But when it comes about health, I don't know if it's true. You know, if you discover that you have a health problem, it will be impossible sit and just say, okay, there is a good side on that. Or for a father, a mother that have to care about their children, if they lost a job in an unexpected way, it's impossible to say to the people, okay, everything will be okay, relax, tomorrow you can go for to handle the situation. I think it's a little bit complicated, but most of the time I believe it's true. I believe you can face and learn from the situation and try to see the positive side, you know, but not everything, not all the time.
Yes, you know, you made me think about it, about this. I totally get your point regarding health issues and this bad situation you just described. Yes, it's hard to believe in this saying, because health problems, I believe, they have no upside, you know, no positive teaching to teach us. It's hard to find something good in the middle of this bad situation. Very good. And you, Amanda, what do you think about the saying?
I totally agree with Juliana, and I was going to give the same examples as she did. And I think most of the times we can think of a good side, and I think it's good to think this way. But I also think that it's like a comfort. It's like, for me, there are examples that I can see that I think about the good sign, because it will work as a comfort. Like, oh, this happened, but at least there I can see the silver lining from this point of view. So I agree with Juliana, and I think it's good to try to see the good side of some situations. But I think also that in some situations we try to see the good side, like to have a comfort.
Yes, very good what you said. Yes, it's a comforter. Yes, but I also think it's important at least to try to see, make an effort to try to find something good in the middle of that chaos, for example. At least try. And of course, there will be situations when you will not be able to find something good. As you said, health problems is an example. Yes. And you, Jairo, what do you think of this saying?
I think that's totally true. The thing is, who are able to see it, to see the good things. The good things are always there, but not everyone can see it. So I can think about many different examples in work, in personal life, you know, in government, whatever. There is so many things that happen, something that we in general we think, all right, that's something bad, but as a consequence of something bad, something good happen. Yeah, and the point is, right, I think there is two different points. The first one, who is able to see it as a good, the good points of the bad situation in general, because they are always there. The opposite side, I think, is true as well. So sometimes something very good happened, but there is some specific bad points in the, in the look. If you look to the big picture, it's good, but there is some negative points. The opposite is totally true as well. But I think also that sometimes we need to understand, all right, there is this good point, but we need to consider that sometimes some bad things happen, and that's it. Just accept it. Accept it. It's not. I don't think it's a bad thing. Accept that something bad happened. Um, Again, I think our mind in some ways try to alert us that something bad happened. Let's suppose like we are riding by a bike, for example, and we see, I don't know, we see something that we cannot pass through. So we know that we need to turn to the back or to the right. We need to find a different way, otherwise we will fall in the floor. If this thing happen, all right, you can say something, all right, I learned it now that I must find a way to turn back or turn around, but what the fact is, you avoid the alert of your mind that you should find a way to go to the left or to the right, because you shouldn't go ahead like in the same direction. So I think, yeah, sometimes we need to accept it. It's like how life it is. But yeah, that's a difficult. It's a very huge topic if you start to grab some very specific points. But I think this is totally true. There is always something good in a bad situation, and the opposite, it's true as well. So there is always a bad thing in the good situations. That's my point of view. I don't think maybe maybe I'm totally wrong, and that's fine. I'm learning the things of life, so maybe tomorrow I will realize that I was totally wrong. But yeah, for me until now, I think that it's true, but we need also to accept the things. So sometimes it's better don't fight against it, but accept and learn how to deal with these things.
Yes, you brought us a very interesting, accurate perspective about it. There are things we can only accept. There is something people say, give me strength to deal, something like that. I'm not sure. Give me strength to deal with the things I cannot change, something like that.
Yeah.
So yes, I understand this. And something interesting, also interesting, you said about those who are able to see the bright side in the middle of the bad thing. Yes, it's something for us to think about. But it was an excellent perspective. Very good, very good. And you, Aurelio, what's your idea here about this thing?
Yeah, for me, it's true. Is in every situation you can find the best solution. I can tell you an example. Before the COVID, I went in a meeting, an English meeting here in Italy, 2 times a month, because thanks to this group, I think I can improve my English speaking ability. Yes. But when we went in lockdown, I think this is a problem for me, because if I don't proceed with these meetings, I lost all my ability regarding the English. And in that moment, I told that my life, this is a problem. But thanks to all this technology that we have today, probably there is a group of people in the internet that speak in English, and I search in internet, and fortunately I find a talk and talk. Thanks to this different aspect, before I do meetings every day. I start on Monday and finish to Friday. And in this way, I improve my English speaking ability very fast. And this is good. In other way, I'm so happy for this, because I love TNT. I love this particular situation because I have the possibility to meet with you, with a group of people in an opposite part of the world, and sharing the different point of view. I can open my mind. I can understand a different accent, respect my accent, and I open my mind. In fact, thanks Talk and Talk, I met people in the English group that we write thanks WhatsApp out of Talk and Talk, and I can tell this person, these people, friends, because thanks their idea, I started to study Spanish, and this is good because I open in a good way, in a big way, my mind. Now yes, I speak Italian because I'm Italian. Yes, I speak English. I start to speak Spanish, and yes, I speak another the Italian language science. Yes, this before, but now actually I can tell you that I speak 4 different language, and this is good because in this way I can speak with other people in other parts of the world. And in my point of view, this in a in ugly situation, I find a beautiful situation for me, and I think that this situation is possible in every contest, if it is beautiful or if it is bad. It's important to search and to find the best solution for you guys.
Yes, very good. You answered 2 questions, the number 3 and also number 4. It was I asked number 4, a personal experience where you were able to find the silver lining, and it was an excellent example. So even in the middle of a pandemic, we got to find some bright sides, upsides with like this. The development of the highly development of technology, it was something good in my opinion. And yes.
Yes, I'm sorry if I proceeded. And in the pandemic, I'm so happy because I imagine myself if there isn't a pandemic situation, probably I proceed in the old way and I don't search the English meeting on Talk on internet. Probably I don't find Talk and Talk, and probably I don't improve very fast my speaking ability. For this, I'm so happy.
Me too. Me too. Yes, I know pandemic, it was horrible for many people around the world. We never contest this, but that also brought us some good things. I think home office was an excellent thing for many families around the world, being able to be with their children and more time at home, don't spend time commuting to work and having more time to stay with the family, or waking up a little bit later so you are already at work, you don't need to go to work, avoid traffic, and the development of technology and all the things we are able to purchase on the internet now with one click. You know, you don't need to go to the place to do something. You find everything on the internet. It's all online, documentation, everything. Many things improved, even related to bureaucracy, documentation in Brazil. It improved a lot. So in my opinion, it's a good example of the silver lining. But of course, there are situations like you said, guys, earlier, the girl said, when it comes to health, sometimes it's difficult to find a bright side in the middle of all that bad, horrible situation. but it's something. It's a glimpse of hope, a glimpse of hope. And I'd like to know now from you guys. I'm bringing the other room back, okay? But let's continue. If you'd like to share with us a personal experience, professional, whatever, where you were able to see the silver lining in the middle of the chaos. Okay, a bright side. Juliana, would you like to share something with us?
Yes, I also think about the example that our youth bring us, because even though pandemic was horrible, for me, I can see the good side of it in my life. Nowadays, I'm working from home, and at least the pandemic show me that the life can be short, and the present, it's a gift. You don't know how much time you have here. So let's enjoy the life. Let's see the positive side, be happy, and share our experience and help others. I think the pandemic, it's an opportunity to learn about life, how to have a good life.
Oh my, what a lesson you just gave us right now. That's what you said was so beautiful about life is short. So let's make the best of it, right?
Yes.
Beautiful lesson, Juliana, beautiful. Thank you very much for that. And you guys, welcome back to the main room. Okay, I wish I was able to keep everyone here, but it's impossible, unfortunately. I'd like to know how was the meeting in your room. Okay, Mirna, what did you find the meeting in your room?
It's a good conversation, and I like very much for my colleague for the room, and we talk about the life and the situation appear in our lives, and I think these questions, we can think about our life, and because for me, my life passed for, I have a 62 years old, 62 years old. And I know I passed for many things, different things, and I learned for all the situation I passed. I learned something, for the all the past I pass, I learn about this, and this made I grown up for the life.
I see, understand you. Every little thing, every little struggle you have to went through taught you something about life. Every
Yes.
experience is a lesson. Yes, very good, Mirna. It's also a very beautiful lesson you are telling us, you are teaching us. Every little thing is an experience, a chance for us to learn something. Yes, thank you very much, very much. And you guys, let me see. Tatiani, would you like to share any experience you had regarding the saying, a moment, a situation where you were able to see the silver lining?
Yes, I shared with people who were in my room that I had a difficult situation when my husband was fired last year, and it was very hard to leave, to move on without a job. But I think that for him it was important because he learned that it's not possible to be comfortable in the job. You can open your eyes for the market, and you can. It's not recommendable to think that your company is the best company of the world, because when they decided to fire you, they will do this. And I think that is important to think in the other side. I think that it was a bad situation, but today I can see that we could learn a lot with this.
I see. Very good lesson also. What you said, your experience leads us to a second saying I also brought here. It's in question number 8. They say a lot. It's a blessing to a curse. So the curse in this case was your husband being fired. All right. It's a curse. Horrible.
Yes.
But in the end, it ends up being a blessing because it make him grow and understand that you cannot stay comfortable all the time in the company. As you said, many lessons. It brought
Yes.
you many lessons, and to us now. So
Yes.
it's also, yes, it's a blessing to a curse. Sometimes bad things happen, but in the end, they show us that it was for the best.
Yes.
It's also a second saying. These two sayings they use a lot in English. People say that blessing to a curse, there is always a silver line. So it's the real deal, not only the books. Sometimes the books are good, but they bring us some things that people don't use in real life. So very good. Thank you for sharing this with us. Okay, guys, I really wish we had more time. I don't know about you, but I'd love to stay here speaking one more hour here. Okay, we have a lot to share. I'm gonna share one more. Okay, Mateus, would you like to share an experience you had of the silver lining, a blessing to a curse?
Yeah, it's the same situation about the husband of Tatiana passed through, and I got fired for 3 months ago, and when I received the message of my last company, my world is down. I don't see more hope or light before that, because I start to think about my debts, my college, how can I pay the bills, and I start to depress. So I have to see the silver line because the weeks going through and I don't give a job yet. So I have to learn new things. I update my LinkedIn, and so I have to create my silver line to going out of this situation. I think that.
Very good. I'm sorry for you for hearing that, but I'm happy you found a way to get over the situation, to improve yourself, to learn new things. Okay, I hope you make it as soon as possible. Okay, I don't know if you already found a job or not.
Yeah, no, now I employ again.
You are employed or unemployed?
No, I employed again.
Oh, thank you. Thank God. Yes. Oh, so very good, very good. But yes, I understand. And I'm glad you saw the silver lining. You started learning new things, updated your LinkedIn. It's something positive. Very good, guys. I'm really sad because we have to go. I don't know if any one of you would like to share an experience. I don't know if you are late, if you have appointments, guys, feel free to leave, okay? I'm having a very good time here. So if you'd like to continue, I know we can, okay? Because I can use the link, the Zoom this time. So feel free if you'd like to share another experience, guys. Jairo, Amanda, Juliana, Mirna, all of you, feel free to speak, okay? Who else here? Tatiana, all right.
I was just thinking about what Jair said. Everything has a positive side. Is the way, and if people are able to see that, that makes the difference. And I continue to think about that and change a little bit my point of view. So thank you, Jairo. It was very important because it's a different way to face, you know.
Very good, Juliana. I'm so glad for you. Excellent, very good. It's a positive thing from our meetings. So I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I'm not learning just English here.
Yes, true, very true, very true. Mirna, please.
No, I think you don't can run away for the situation, but you face what you is come in front for you. You don't run away, but you take stay face to face for the situation.
Yes, you face the situation. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and it's hard, I know. At the moment it's happening, usually we are not able to see the bright side. It's very difficult because we are in the middle of a chaos and many emotions, and anxiety usually takes over us. So it's very hard to see. But I think if we can remember this lesson, at least try to find something, try to start searching, digging, and try to find something positive in the middle of that. As Jairo said, it depends a lot on who is able to see the upside, the good thing. Yes?
No, yes, I saw in all the moment you learn something, because the life is in your life appeared the situation for you learn about how you can live.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes. Good lesson, very good lesson, Mina. Thank you very much. Guys, you want to say something? Jairo, Aurelio?
I remember something that Aurelio said, and I was thinking, but again, on my one way, I was thinking about it. Remember, I don't know, some of them they aren't here in our class, so they don't know. But I consider myself quite negative in some aspect, in some points of view. And when Aurelio said something about COVID, and you said something else like, we learned a lot, and we get some improvements about technology or home office and these kind of things. And I was saying, you see how my mind works, because as soon as you start to say something like that, my mind start to bring to me, all right, but see how things it is, because you need to pass through it to realize that employees, for example, I'd use an example of employees, to realize that employees can work by home, at home. I mean, it was a chance, it was a possibility, even before the pandemic situation. But the pandemic situation needs to be in place to companies realize that, all right, it can be done. I mean, it should be done before the COVID-19, but we need to pass through a bad situation to get finally the result that we should get in the past. You know, during COVID-19, to be honest, I don't think that we get really improvement about technology or anything. The only improvement was about science, you know, because we had that such fast vaccine. But in terms of technology or things that I don't think that we get really something different. We just use the tools that we already had in the past. The only thing that changed is the mindset, how we think that things could be done now or no, you know. So I remember when Aurelio was talking about the things that COVID-19 brought in terms of good points. My mind drives me to this side of the point. All right, yeah, but you see, we need to pass through all those things. Well, we should have in the past without nothing related to that. So sometimes we have to pass through it because otherwise we don't we don't make it work like home office. That's real now, but in the past, just a few companies had the opportunity to give the home office to the employees. So I think sometimes bad things, it's a must. We need to pass through because otherwise nothing will happen, you know.
Excellent, excellent. Very good what you said. Yes, learning through pain. We can choose learn through love or learn through pain.
Exactly.
So it's a choice. Yes, unfortunately, the companies had to face a huge pandemic to decide to make what was already known and possible and good for their employees. Yes, it's sad. Yes, but thank God it happened. Yes. Yes, and you, Aurelio, you would like to add something?
No. Think always positive. I can tell you only this.
Yeah.
This is important. Don't forget, if the weather is bad and the rain is good because the ground is full of water and the grass live. It's always positive, guys. And the different, if there is the sun, you can your skin, you can. No, I lost. There is a beautiful day.
Yes, yes.
You can go to do a picnic with your family, your friend, etc., etc. Always positive, guys.
Yes, guys. Thank you very much for you all being here tonight. Okay, it was a pleasure, a huge pleasure, and that's why I extended the meeting a little bit. And yes, it was really a pleasure. And let's finish this meeting tonight, okay, with this thing, this teaching Aurelio taught us. Always think positive, always see the bright side. Okay, thank for the rain because it helps the soil, give us water. The sun is also good. So let's finish the night, okay, with this learning. Be always positive, okay? Guys, thank you very much. It was really a pleasure, okay? Hope to see you all next Thursday, okay? Have a great week, great weekend.
Bye, Melissa.
Bye,
Bye, guys.